I assume we're live. Hello, welcome, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Welcome back to another stream. Blind Ray, I hope you're here. There was actually some chat going on before Blind Rays put something in the chat. I don't know where this is. But anyway, welcome to another stream. Let me know in the chat if you're ready for some React Native action, some live updates, some Ionic talk, capacitor, whatever you're up to, because I'm definitely ready. We had a pause of about 2 weeks or 3 weeks, so I'm really glad to be back now. Get everything prepared, get your food, get your coffee, tea or whatever you prefer, and then we can soonish dive into our topic of the day, which is continuing our React Native application with Expo. Right in the beginning, let me put in our repository. So our repository is this one. Our repository, here we go. Okay, who's going? Oh, what's up? Kay Lowen, hello. It's Fuzzy, waiting to see Firebase chat and learn how it works. I've doubt. Can we use okay, yeah. Yes, no, and yes, we're gonna talk about that, but we're gonna use Firebase today. Hey Waleed, great fan of your work. Thank you so much. I'm always happy to hear that. I'm not the biggest fan of my work. I always strive to be better, but I love to hear it anyway, so thank you. Where are you from? Where are you tuning in? Where's everyone located? Can I please ask if you're going to gifted chat, bug array? Gifted chat, you're going to use gifted chat. I don't actually know what gifted chat is. Sorry about that. But we're going to use Firebase. We're going to take a look at that in a second. Hello, Elisu from Angola, Africa. I remember Angola was once, I think, in the soccer world championship. Was it like, maybe that was even when it was in Germany, 2006? I don't know. I think they didn't came far. Doc Ramadani, even in German, greetings to Ulm. Have I been to Ulm? I think during my time in university, I was actually doing a study with some friends or colleagues about bring your own device to work. That was funny, good old times. Has to be at least like 8 or 9 years ago. But the city is nice nonetheless. Georgia, Pakistan, Lebanon, so much going on. I'm waiting for the live chat. Thank you a lot from India. Greetings to India. Yeah, got a lot of followers from India and people tuning into Academy Galaxy's live chat. So thank you. Hope Blind Ray is here as well. I guess Chuck is not yet here, but anyway. Okay, why do I start the stream and immediately get like 6 emails? Why? Why do you do this to me? I don't want to read my emails now. I got better things to do. You have to wait. Oh, it's YouTube telling me I'm live. Yeah, Blind Ray is there. Great, awesome. So, what's the plan of the day? Plan for the day is what was it? Undraw, Excalibur, and what's the drawing tool? The name Undraw, Excalidraw, that's the name. Yeah, here we go. Does my stream deck work? It's a joke. 1 minute before the stream started, it used to work, and now it's not working again. So I have to click like an idiot again. Here we go. React Native Firebase chat. That's what we started weeks ago. And we actually created already the login page and the registration. We created some context hook for our authentication, and we have a redirect as well. Topic for the day is defining groups in Firebase, joining a group, showing that user is active, and sending messages to that group. That's going to be interesting. We're going to have to figure out a few things with React Native for this. But first, let's talk about a few things. So I discovered after our last stream a few things. First of all, here's my Firebase chat. I just want to have this open in case I got any problems. The problem we had last time. So what is the zoom factor? Is this good for you? No. Let's go for 5. My eyes hurt so much. if I need glasses because I'm constantly using zoom factor 5, the Simonics community can pay for the glasses, really. That's after 8 years of tutorials, but I think I have like eyes like an eagle. I can see everything. Anyway, I wanted to do and want to show you something. So the first thing I actually added before the stream, because I was so fired up, was I installed the React Native loading spinner overlay. So when I now press loading, login, it will show this loading, and we can use this constantly across our application. We just have to add the package and then in our view add the spinner, and depending on the state. So that was really, really easy. I do want to see something else. Let's see, can I already go to groups if I'm not authenticated? No, I can't, because I have some logic that prevents it. Maybe we're gonna do a tiny bit different logic later, but for now I think we can actually really focus on the groups. So on our inside area, we have a groups page. Oh, that looks good. We have a groups page and we have a profile page. So probably let's start by making the app look somewhat better. We're gonna go into our routing. So we're gonna use the Expo router and not the standard routing. So that's why we have file-based routing. The out area is basically our outside area. The tabs area is our inside layout. And in here we already defined our dual logout. So always in the header right of the screen, I'm gonna have this logout button. Additionally, I probably wanna have a different tab bar icon. So tab bar icon. I might also be additionally fired up because I'm using a different playlist today. So my usual lo-fi playlist is apparently not free anymore. And I don't want to pay for this. So here we go. Today we're using Epic Music. I can highly recommend this, by the way. If you're doing some focused work, just use Epic Music and the day's your friend. Okay. So in order to use this, a tab bar icon, we can use it like this. So we got color and size here, and then we can display an icons. Did we already add the icons? No, we didn't. So let's add them here from the Expo vector icons. And then I'm going to use something like name. What is the... Yeah, that sounds good. Let's see. Does it also work? Yes, it does. I love Copilot. I really like Copilot a lot. Maybe we could even make the simulator a bit bigger, so you have a chance to see this even better. So yeah, here we go. Let's also add a tab bar icon. And we can, by the way, also change the label. By default, it's just using the name of that thing. Has anyone built something with React Native and Firebase already? Let me know in the chat. Did you like encounter any problems at some point? Because so far, it almost feels like this is too easy. And I feel like I'm leaving out something. So please let me know if you experience some problems with React Native and Firebase. Oh, I should also... my face is covering this as well. So we're not using chat bubbles here. We're probably using something like person outline or something. Well, if we go for person outline, then we should have outline all the time. No, let's just use this. This is good. And we're going to do my profile. So now our tab bar also looks nice. Also this one. This is cool. This is good. Yeah, let's start by trying to implement our chat groups. And I immediately notice a problem. The problem I see is that at some point, we're gonna have a details page for a group. And right now, if I do like a dynamic routing in here, that's gonna be really complicated. So I think we have to restructure our routing for Expo first of all to make that work. So I'm gonna add a new folder that will be groups. So this groups our groups together, our group stuff. And what was previously the groups TS in that folder now becomes the index. Okay, so now the tabs layout will complain because the path is not really groups anymore. That would be /index. But no, actually it should still be groups. But we might need our own layout in here. So if I do it like this, it's gonna be very mad at me. Let's add a new file in here, a layout.tsx. And for that layout, let's say we're gonna do a stack layout. So if we select a group, then we want to go into the details of that group. We can return the stack. No, not the stack navigator. I actually want to use the stack from Expo, from the Expo router, as this one. And then I'm going to define my stack screen. We don't have to, but I'm going to do this name index. I'm going to close it for now. So what are you mad about? This one is good. Import. Okay, yeah, stack layout. And then export default stack layout. Okay, let's see. I think at this point it should already get better. It's still not finding my groups. Why is that? We have a layout here with a profile and a groups page. And on the groups page, we do have our stack layout and we have a stack screen. So I think we're pretty good here. Maybe because I added a file. Oh yeah, that doesn't look good. Let's restart this one. Let's run npx expo start again. And then I'm gonna reload and hope for the best. Please, please work. Ah, no. Well, okay, debugging is fun as well. Here we go. Let's go to _sitemap, which tells me which. I don't have a sitemap. What? I should have a sitemap. I should certainly have a sitemap. Probably I can't even access the sitemap because of the logic in here. Okay, that's interesting. So a nice case for Mr. Debug. How do we go about this? Well, I assume that we have our tabs page, which should work fine. We have our redirect if this is not a user, and we have the name groups. Actually, I don't really see the problem of our approach right now. If anyone sees the issue, then please let me know. We do have in the layout, if we're not initialized, we display the slot, otherwise we have loading. So if we are initialized, we will go forward to /groups. But what are we building? We are trying to build a chat here, but first we need to fix our routing. So I'm going to also add another file, by the way, which I'm going to call id.tsx. So that would be the details page of our chat, basically. React Native functional export, chat page. So this would be like the details page. I'm pretty sure I made a really dumb mistake at some point, like using a wrong word or something that's messing this up. But because of my security stuff and the redirects, okay, nice. Okay, interesting. I added the ID and now it's happy if I have something next to my index. Now that is interesting. That's something we can live with. That also means that at this point, if I go to groups, I have two headers, the classic problem, but that is actually quite easy to fix. So for the groups one, I don't really need the header title or the header right. I just want to have header shown false. Okay. Setting header shown to false completely messes up. It's interesting. On the web, it still works. Only on mobile we do have problems. Oh, what a fun way to start the stream with debugging. I wanted to write some code and not debug this. It's always the same. Tab bar icon, tab bar shown for groups. Yes, that is good. But here inside the layout for my stack, I'm gonna add some options. Let's see, gonna add this. Header title, this is now chat groups. And we define the button in here. And on press, yeah, we can, did we import dual lockout? Oh yeah, we added this like this. Oh, come on, all the imports. Now you're getting even more mad at me. I made this one really. Use auth, we don't need initialized. We don't really need the user in the first place. We only need sign out and Firebase auth. We don't need anything else at this point. So much fun. What is going on with you? Unable to resolve module React Native types. Yeah, did this happen for anyone else? It's constantly adding React Native /types for me, and I don't know why. This is so annoying. This is unbelievable annoying because it messes up my application and just destroys everything. So here we go again. Where's my chat? Let's probably start on this page. So this brings me to the groups page where, okay, this is interesting. Profile is completely fine, only groups page does not seem to work. And I feel like this is also not using the actual code we have written. What's going on? You know, Expo router and stuff, it's harder than it seems. So in our groups layout, we should probably define, what are all these pages in here? I feel like we have too many pages. Now we have a profile and we have the layout. The layout defines the groups page and the profile. The groups page has its own layout, which has a screen index and a screen ID. And that one will have the header title. Let's just use chat in here. So once we get to a point where we can make that work, we're good. But I still see groups up here, and I definitely don't want to see that up there. So on my chat page, let's add a simple button and try this out. We can use the link component from the Expo router. So I want to link to /groups/ 42 something. But this should be the href. And once we do that on okay, yeah. I think we know the problem. So this is definitely displaying the this is single chat. Yeah, this is displaying the chat page and it's not displaying the actual groups overview. So why is that the case? This is the single chat page. Why is this coming up? This is I love live streams. It's really hard to figure this out live and talk about this. But eventually we're gonna figure this out. So we have a chat page, we have a groups overview, and we have a layout. Usually I would think, let's just reload this, but also let's look at the logs here. No route named groups exist in nested children groups profile. Yeah, groups profile, that is not a thing. Groups profile. I feel like we have a wrong setup here. We have the profile page. This should normally be really like groups. I'm not exactly sure. Okay, yeah, this is getting better. we got better here. So we got the profile back and we got the chat. The only problem is we're directly in the main chat with the ID is catching this. So why is this not actually displaying my index page? Does anyone have an idea? So the layout, we have a stack and we have a screen name index. And we have a stack screen name ID. This is really mysterious. We're in the Mysteria lane here. The groups overview, which is the index file here, is simply not displayed. I honestly don't know why. It is simply not displayed. I don't know if this is some sort of caching issue. If it is, it's actually not really funny. Yeah. Oh, that was actually also very interesting. Can we see this on the web? If I go to groups something, it's redirecting me. Oh man, this is madness. This is really madness. What if I say, please use groups/index for this? Okay, this is not really making it any better. If I use it groups, then for chat groups, it simply shows me groups, but not the index. So let me take a step back and look at the chat for a minute. Maybe that figures out itself then. So you're asking a question about what was the question? When someone new lives with Ionic. What's the full question here? Okay. Carlo Jan also said, I think it needs to be groups. Let's see. We have that ID page, and we also do have I think no. We have the layout, we have the id.tsx, we have the index.tsx, we have the layout, I feel a bit lost right now. I feel like that redirect is causing some kind of issue here. This is a single chat. I don't know why is it not displaying my index anymore. I know that the ID will catch everything else, but do we need to do it like this? No, that shouldn't be the case with our groups page. The groups page should simply, it's like it's not displaying the index page anymore. I'm gonna remove this. I feel like there's something messed up here. So I'm gonna add a new index.tsx, make this a React Native functional index, and then we're gonna see if this is displayed, and this should definitely be just the ID. I don't know. What are we doing wrong here? All the experts in the room, I'm gonna get rid of this forwarding logic right now, because I feel this is not helping us. On the chat groups page, we have a stack, and we have the funny thing is I actually used this code before. I've set up something else before, and it worked just perfectly. And now I'm basically writing the same code again, and it's not working. And so that's why I feel a bit lost. So let me try and use the snippet I had before, which basically looks exactly like this. So I do have a groups page. Okay, then it turns into this. If I now go into stack layout on this page, on my groups page /_layout, I'm gonna remove this so we could do this if we wanted to. The interesting thing is, it still won't work. If I go to 42, this is actually not found. And my sitemap, oh, that's interesting. My sitemap is working again. So we have the tabs layout with a profile page, and we have the groups page. I actually, before we went live, I also updated my React Native version. I really wonder if that version causes some problems. I just want to do this. I want to go back. I really don't think it could be. But but let's give this a try. Npm install React Native at 0.71.7. I really don't think this should or could cause any issues. And I think there's like a clear command. Yeah. I also want to start with a clear cache. Okay, please watchman something. I can do this. So if we spend like 20 minutes just debugging this because there was a caching issue, I'm gonna immediately close this. almost. It was close. This was already close. So let's see. My sitemap should still be basically the same. It's good that we have like this dramatic, epic music in the background. I feel like this is adding more tension to this. So I would go directly there. It's here. Oh, I sensed something. Oh, we know. I know what's causing the problem. And it was a very dumb mistake. It was not caching. It was about file names. It is this one. Using brackets is only to group stuff, but of course in this case I don't want to group something. I wanted this group to have the name groups and then groups/index. So if I now use it like this, let's reload. It should display the actual groups index page. Oh man, what a mistake. Wow, stuff like this can easily cost you like an hour or something of your time. Sometimes software development is madness. It's really madness. I can also, oh yeah, I just want to make my layout again in the right place because that definitely was correct. But here we go, groups is now showing our index. And if I go to groups 42, I'm on a single chat page. Yes, this exactly now works. Oh man, that was fun. No, it wasn't actually. So probably we should commit at this point so you don't get that error. We still have the lockout on that page. We do have the chat groups. I actually want to use the full icon, not the outline. And then we're finally back on track. We just had to refactor our application. You see the Expo router is unbelievable easy to use. I mean, in general it is. The problem is usually in front of the computer, so I was the problem. By the way, there isn't any music when you are in desktop mode. Is this desktop mode? And I agree. I can't see my... what is this? The audio input capture. Why is there no... Oh, I have an audio output capture, but why do I not have an audio input capture? I should definitely add this to my desktop as well. This is a very nice catch. Do you now hear my music? Now you should actually hear this. Let me know in the chat if there's now music. And then you know why I've been constantly getting excited because of the music. Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, the music's playing. So that was my issue. Do we want to create groups ourselves is the question. Yeah, why not? Why not? So here we go. We got the index. So this is our groups page. Okay. So we need a function start group. Gonna be an async function. And I think, can we do something like a fab button? I think we did this before. Let's try. In my view, I'm gonna first of all set up some styles. So const styles equals style sheet dot create container, the usual stuff. No, I don't need that one. And then I had some fab styling, which should give me or help me to create a fab at the bottom. So close this. And did the import once again? I don't know. The imports for React Native in Visual Studio Code, it's just not working at all for me. I don't know. So I'm gonna give this one styles.container, and then we're gonna add a pressable. We should have styles. Oh, come on, Copilot. You can figure that out. It is actually called fab. And inside we're gonna render an icon, ionicons. Always when I add ionicons, I think about Ionic. But this is not Ionic. So here we go. We have a pressable. On press, we can start a group. Actually, yeah, no, this is not how it should work. Let's do on... yeah, on press, of course, but on press shouldn't be on the icon. It should be on the pressable itself. That makes more sense. Okay, so on press, we're gonna start a group. And that means we're gonna have to add some data to Firebase. Cool, finally! I was excited. Excited that we're finally gonna use this. So we're gonna use add document. And for add document, we need the collection reference and the data. So let's do the collection reference. Actually, as we need to load some data from the collection anyway, let's set it up in the use effect hook. So now things are rolling. We're getting really into this. Now it gets better. Sorry for the little delay. Maybe we're just gonna do it a little bit later, a bit longer. So let's call this, what is the collection? Groups collection ref. And set groups collection ref. I actually don't know exactly what kind of type this is. But we should be able to create the ref by using collection. Then our Firebase. Yeah, that was a little naming mess up. So I think I called this one, yeah, I called this Firestore DB. Name it whatever you want. Let's follow up with a Firestore DB. And the path to that collection is groups, yes. And now I'm gonna call set groups collection with the ref. And so when we need the ref to the groups, we can actually use it in here. And then simply pass in some data. Also, we of course need to use the add document function from Firebase. Can we just, oh, it's already added. This is the groups collection reference. And I'm gonna just say name group 1. This is group 1. Anything else we can add? Maybe creator. That is our user ID. I think we should have the user ID from our custom use auth hook. Yes. And so we can say user.uid. Okay, let's give this a try. Yeah, we probably should catch an error and log something out. Okay, here we go. Now, if we go to Firestore database, we should be able to see, okay, this is our users. And with the press on that button, yes, we do have a groups collection, and this is group 1. And if I press it again, we have another group. Okay, perfect. That means we can create groups. We could probably later make this even better. Let's say for now, we're just gonna call this, yeah, something like that. Let's make this a string literal and then say this is group math floor or something. What a great random number. Probably, oh no. This is a chat group. Okie dokie. If we do it now, this group, okay, there's actually one too many. Cool. Cool beans. Now we can also display those chat groups. Question, will ye add animations to the messages, or are we going for functionality only? Well, I'm open to that. We're gonna do first the functionality, and afterwards we will try to add animation. What kind of animations did you think about? Maybe we could do something with reanimated. Yeah, and list of participants. That is definitely also a good idea. Do we directly want to do this? I sometimes wonder what's the best way to set this up. We could have a sub-collection participants. We could have a sub-collection participants, but I'm not exactly sure. I have to think about that. We could do it. Let's try to first of all list out the data. That's actually easier. An array of participants. Yeah, usually you can do something like just have the user ID and true. Firebase really likes that stuff. But yeah, we could probably have this in an array as well. That's a very good point. And we could check the array in and stuff like that. Very good idea. Thank you, Kalayan. Really good idea with the collection and the array. Why do you set collection ref into a state? I simply wanted to reuse it. I could also just create it all the time. You're right. I probably don't have to. I made it so I can now use it again. But actually this time, also when I want to do like, let's say I want to delete a group or something, then I could just easily access the group's collection ref again. That would just make the access a bit easier. So let's go unsubscribe. Should work something like this. Copilot is wrong, but yes, we need on snapshot. The snapshot is something like groups. The type, I think, document data. And then we're gonna return unsubscribe here at the end of our use effect. So when the page is destroyed, this function will also end. On snapshot, yeah, ref, and then the function. This is how we do. So now we should be able to see some data. Let's give this a try. If I go to groups, yes, we get this strange query result here. To actually get the data, we're gonna have to map through that. So something like this: groups, documents, map, document.data, and then I can log this out. This makes a lot more sense. So creator, description, name, everything is now nicely aligned in here. So I'm gonna zoom this in a bit so everyone can see this. Here's the data we got. The only problem with this is that Firebase is usually not including the ID in a result. So if you want to overcome that, simply make this a function and return the document ID and then use the spread operator on the data. So then you create basically a new object, and we're gonna see if I now refresh. There we go. Yes. Now all the IDs of the groups are included, and we have an easy time navigating to the actual details page. Cool beans. We should be able to set this. So let's use another state here. Yes, something like groups, set groups, use state with an empty array. Thank you, what is this? I don't need that. Set groups with our groups data. And with that in place, we can either have like a, what do we want to use? I think a flat list is a bit too much. Let's just use a scroll view. That should be enough for now. So let's add a scroll view component from React Native. Then I want to map over every group. Let's see what Copilot gives me. Let's just roll with it for now and see. Actually not too bad. Problem is that we actually have to press on something. So let's wrap this in the link component from Expo router. Key is still group. We're gonna use it in a different way. We're gonna use the href. And the href is going to be /group/group.id. That should potentially work. What is this? Escape. As child. Let's see. Why is everything red? It must have one parent element. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, and then we're gonna just put something in here. Now if I would put this in here, that would actually be pretty boring. Let's do something like a touchable opacity. Oh, come on, touchable opacity. We probably need some style for that. Okay, and then we're gonna have the group name. Oh, we can even have the group description. Nice, thank you for that. Let's add the button here. Let's maybe call this group card. So I'm gonna use group card and styles.group card. So now you're not complaining. Okay, good. Let's do some padding. I don't know, 20. Let's do 10. Should be enough. Then we can also give this a white background. Margin 10. I actually don't like that. Let's use just margin bottom. So then we have a nice separation of the items. I think, can we use something like elevation? Does elevation actually work in this case? Let's also add a border radius of something. Well, we don't really see the border radius in that case, right? Yeah, well, I think we're gonna leave it at this for now. The repository is open. I'm gonna commit it anyway, so you can improve this if you want to. More questions. What is the extension that you use to showing the TypeScript error? Good question. I just recently installed this. That was what's the name? I can let's go to my installed. Where's the like enabled? Babel, close code, colorize. Oh man, why do I have so many extensions installed? Totally unnecessary. Import, IntelliSense, Ionic, Java, JSON. What's the name? Forgot about it. A lot of markdown stuff. Theme, MDX, NPM, OneDoc Pro, Path, Peacock, Pole. Pretty TypeScript errors. There we go. That's the name of the package. Pretty TypeScript errors. That usually makes the TypeScript error look a whole lot better. Instead of having this, you get something like this. Oh, that was almost as hard as fixing the routing today. Hi Simon, joined lane, don't understand a line of React, but love you. Leonard, that's the spirit. Just join, just stay, have a nice time. Even if you don't understand React, maybe you're gonna dream about React Native tonight, and tomorrow you suddenly gonna start writing React. That's the spirit. So besides all of that, we're now able to go into a group, which is pretty cool by itself. So on the group page, we can do this. I think we can get a bit further today. Let's do this. I still have something to drink, so we're fine. We're fine here. On our chat page, we can now grab the ID from the URL using use search params from the Expo router. Let's try and log out the ID first and see if this actually works. So this should be FE something, RH, yeah. It looks like it's the actual ID. Then we're gonna follow this up. Yeah, we can also use layout effect, doesn't really matter too much. That's gonna be called when we enter that page as well. And we're gonna create, we need a message collection reference. So message collection reference. This should use collection, FireStoreDB. Oops. FireStoreDB, and also, yes, almost. Do you want to put this under messages or under group/ID messages? I wonder what Firebase would recommend. I feel like no, I don't want to have this. I'm gonna make this a sub collection of groups. I don't know if this is a mistake, but to me right now this feels better. If there's Firebase, if Jorge is in the chat or any other Firebase expert, please let me know if this is a mistake. But I feel good about it right now. So we're gonna use basically now the same code we had here on snapshot, on ref, and all the other fun we had. But we're gonna use this. Then we're gonna get, this is message, well, let's call this messages current messages, and then we're gonna have state messages, send messages. Yes, something like this. There we go, and set messages. Okay, cool. This means we're able to get the messages in the chat. Now we need a way to send something, so let's add a function send message. That's actually gonna be an async function. Oh, that also means I need a text input. I hate creating text inputs. I really hate it. It never works great for me. Let's also get the user from our hook. I'm pretty sure we're gonna add this to our message. So when we send a message, we're gonna... What is this? This is not what I want to do. We will try, but we're gonna just do this. Let's do this. Const message equals message.trim. So we'll trim all the white space. If message length, yeah, then we can probably safely remove this. And otherwise, we're gonna do add document to our collection. This is this collection, so we could probably also keep this in our state. I mean, it doesn't really matter too much. You could do whatever you want. Maybe we're gonna just go with this approach right now. So this would be the opposite of what we did before. Add document to our message collection, and that document should have the message. It should have the sender and also a timestamp. But if you want to use a timestamp with Firebase, I highly recommend you use the server timestamp instead. Yes, okay, good. So we do have the send message function. Now we just need an input for that. That's actually more challenging. So let's try. We're gonna have some sort of scroll view or other text. Let's use a view. Let's use a view, and we need some styling. So we need to make sure that the chat is covering most of the page, and at the bottom we have the text input. That's actually, it's not hard, but that's also not too easy. We're gonna do this somehow with Flex, the Flex layout. I'm not exactly sure how, but we're gonna figure that out. So usually you have something like the container. Yeah, we were not doing this. For my, I'm gonna have an input container, and this input container will be around the keyboard or the input. So let's use view input container. I'm gonna have a text input. That's actually true. Yeah, no, this is not true. This, by the way, is true. Okay, so let's add all of this. We need to close one more. So we have a button send. We have a text input. We definitely don't want to on-change trigger this. We want to have the value, but on-change text. Let's see. What is wrong? Strings must be rendered within a text. Oh yeah, I'm sorry about that. Here we go. Okay, yeah, I have a send button, which calls send message. We should probably also, can we disable this? Disabled while message is an empty string. Yeah, good. Thank you. My text input also probably needs some styling. So let's call message input. Message input. The input, the message input should, yes, exactly, flex 1. That is the idea I had as well. And the input container will have flex direction row, which will show both items next to each other. Yes, Copilot, you're really getting the idea now. Let's give this a background color. Oh, I think yeah. Or we give this. Yeah, we probably need another view for the input container. We have the input container, and then we have the actual message input. see, style equals styles dot, oops, message input, style. Okay, I think, yes, there is actually an input. That's good. The message input has flex 1, which moved this to the end. That means we can give this a bit of padding. So the send button is not completely at the end. Yes, that's better. Do we also want to give these a little, can we give the message input some background color or border color? Let's give this background color white. Yeah, now we finally see it. Let's give this a border color of gray. How gray is this actually? Border with one. Oh, that is too gray. Let's use, I think something like this should be a nice gray, yes. And border radius. We definitely need a rounded border. Border radius 10. Okay, that's a nice input. The input should also have padding. Okay, now we can write text in here. I actually can't. Ah, yeah, I can't because we need to update our state. Let's update the state. On change text, we're gonna call set message. The value is set to message. We have the style. Let's also maybe add a placeholder, type a message. I can't, yeah, I need to make this multi-line. Can we just say multi-line? Yeah. Okay, good. This looks like an input, doesn't it? I think this is good. The only problem is that we need to, well, we can later position this probably at the bottom. That should work to some degree, I assume. So I should be able to send a message. That should probably also, after adding the document, update my state and set the message back to an empty. However, in some group, there's a messages subcollection now with a message. And this is what we want to display. So how do we do this? We can either do, we can probably, yeah, I assume we have to do something like a flat list component. So let's use a flat list to render our items. Flat list wants to have some data, which is messages. And flat list wants to have an import as well. Flat list. Yeah, not from React Native, gesture handler. And we need a closing tag. Actually, we could have the closing tag in this one because there doesn't have to be anything in it. But we need the key extractor, which we can set to item.id. And then we also need the render item, yes. Render item. So this should render one item in our Copilot. Come on, figure this out. Yes, nice. Thank you so much, Copilot. I love you. Yes. Now, if you could also write me the code for that render message, that would be epic. But I'm not sure if you can. View style padding 10. Okay, let's just for fun, let's go with it. Let's see what Copilot would write us in terms of a render. Send a message. Did I say this? Oops. Test. Yeah, well, this is a flat list. I can't complain. This definitely is a flat list. Not the perfect styling, but it is a flat list. Now we need to wait to actually create. Let's manually do this for now. Can I manually add a document here? Oh yeah, there's the button. Document ID, auto ID, field, sender. I don't know, that sender doesn't exist. Which field do we use as well? Message from another user, and then we had another field which was the how can we use it? Timestamp. There we go. field, that was the name created at. Let's just fake this to, I don't know, yesterday. Okay, nice. We have a fake message in the chat from another user. So now I can also, in my render message, check if this message is from so is this my message when item sender is equal to user ID. This is exactly what I wanted. So now I can try and say, we'll probably give this some other styling, but we're gonna have an array of styles. Let's call this one message container. That is the default styling. So we're gonna have a message container. We have the user message container, which has just a background color of something else. I don't know, the user could have something like DC F8C6, something like this, like a gray. And then we'll have the other message container. They could have just white. Okay. And now we can give this container, where's my container? Here. By default, the message container, and then also check if this is my message. We're gonna also add the styles dot user message, otherwise styles dot other message. Okay. This didn't work well yet, or my styles were not applied. So we have the styles message container. If this is my message, I'm going to use the user message container. Okay, yeah, we're overwriting the styles here, so that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Yes, this is better. It's small, but it is better. So let's work on the message container. The message container itself should have some padding. Yes, getting better. Margin, maybe. Actually don't. I want margin top, and I want margin horizontal. Yeah, this is what I want. I also want some border radius. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Margin, padding. Okay. I also, now the funny thing is, I want to move this across so that only like other user stuff is on the one side and mine is on the other side, and we can actually do this pretty easy with flex layout. So I will give this a maximum width of 80%, and if this is a user message, then I will just say align self flex n, and we just move everything here. I really love this trick because it makes this really easy. Also, maybe let's add some styling to the text. Styles dot message text. Let's give this a bit smaller font size, or let's define this actually a bit bigger. And we can also display the time. Let's do a gray time at the bottom. Font size, yeah. Let's just go what Copilot says. Thanks for subscribing. Somebody, I never see like who subscribed, but anyway, thank you. It is appreciated, and I noticed it. We do have the time of the item, so I think we have to. If we use created add, we're gonna have a problem because that's actually, yeah, this is not a time. This is not a time at all. I think we have to call to date on this. Oh, it's mad. Everything is mad at me right now. Let's reload. You're still mad at me, app? I think the simulator in general is mad about what I did to him. Is this working? This is only with one. In which chat did we send messages? I forgot. There was definitely a chat in which we sent messages, wasn't it? Opening on iOS. The simulator is not my friend right now. Let's do the iOS again. Yeah, just reboot the simulator. Can't hurt from time to time. Objects are not valid as a React child. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, we also need two local, what is it? Two local, I would really like to have some code completion here. Two local date string, I think. Yes. We have messages and we have this. Now the only missing piece is making the flat list take up more of the view. Why is the flat list not taking up more of the view? And how can we give it to the flat list? The flat list, the good old flat list. I assume our flat list if we kind of feel like I want to make the input fixed at the bottom, but I don't think that that would be the solution. How can we make sure that the input container is sticky to the bottom? Our input container. We definitely need to make this bigger. What if I give the input container a flex of 1? Okay, then the message input has no fun in that case. If the message input, the message input needs to have this. I mean, it's the message input, the message container. Where's my message container? This is this one. The input container, by the way, could have some gap here as well between the input and the send button. We can also give this one the background color white, by the way. Let's give this one white. I think that will look good as well, yeah. And then we probably don't even need to give the message container, or the message input, a white background. What did I just do? Yeah. Now, okay, now we just need to put the input container to the bottom of the view. I think if we just gave the style here, styles dot container. Nice. Magic. It just works. But as far as I know, there should be a problem now. So I can type nicely in here. If I open the keyboard, yes, I do have this problem. And we can solve the problem, I think, if we use a keyboard avoiding view. At least that's what I've seen before people use. So let's try this out. Keyboard avoiding view. And usually what they are using is a specific behavior that's dependent on the platform. So I'm gonna go with platform OS equal, oh, not 4 equals iOS. If the platform is iOS, I want to use the behavior type padding, and for Android it would use height. That was what people usually used. Then I also need to put this here. And then let's try this out. So if I now trigger the keyboard, it moved the view. It's just not enough. I think we can specify this by giving this a keyboard vertical offset. Let's use something like 60 and see what happens. Yeah, not bad. Maybe 90. Yeah, I think we're getting close. Maybe it's even 100. Can we just please put this in one line? I don't want to have this there. 100. That's even better. Isn't that good? Let me know. How does it look like? I think this looks pretty good. And even without any kind of special animation. So my cool message. I can send it. We probably need to sort the messages. If we want to sort the messages, we can create a simple query. So we should probably do this. Let's do this up here where we got our unsubscribe and the message collection ref. So let's finish today's episode by creating a query. So we learned a lot about Firebase using message order by created add and oh yeah, actually it's not like this. Message, actually there is a function order by and then created by let's see, another one goes to messages. How can this be above the test message? Oh yeah, we're actually not using this. Yeah. Yes, now it makes sense. Perfect, we can chat. We can chat. That feels good. That feels good. I wasn't sure if we would get to this point at the end of today's episode because after taking like, I don't know, 30 minutes to debug our routing, I had kind of lost the hope, but we kind of achieved this now. And so far we have pretty decent code. So let me commit this so you can check this out. Git commit chat working. Git push. So you can now find this in the repository. Repository again should be here. Is there a new commit right now? No, yeah, no. So link is in the chat. This has been interesting. Oh yeah, I forgot my stream deck is still not working. That was exciting actually. As I said, I kind of lost hope in the beginning that we're gonna get through. There's still a few things missing in the chat. So we don't really have like a list of participants. We don't have the online status. It would be really cool to use reanimate to fly in the messages once they appear. Maybe I also want to add file upload. So you know what this means, right? This screams for a third part of React Native Firebase chat. And we're gonna do it. Maybe we're gonna do it next week or the week after, but be sure that there will be another stream about this topic. Also, I don't want to talk about this today. There will probably, I just want to give you a little look in the future. There might be changes to the podcast that I'm doing with Simon. So let's just be honest. We're not completely sure if we're going to continue the pod at this point. There are a few reasons because the numbers are not growing. We do like doing it, but still it takes time. And if nobody's listening, I mean, there are like a few hundred people listening, which is definitely cool, but we're not sure if we're going to continue it like it is right now. And so I'm currently exploring the option of doing my own podcast. Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, but again, if the All the Code podcast would end, I'm thinking about doing something else in the realms of native, cross-platform, general app development, talking to app developers, talking about news about Ionic, Capacitor, React Native, Flutter, tools to build great native apps, and also host this on the Galaxies or here on this YouTube channel. So that is a rough idea I have. I'm now actually going to on a little walk, I think, and spend 30 more minutes thinking about this. So just want to let you know, because you're like the inside circle, the 10 remaining people here on this stream. Thank you for tuning in, of course. It was epic to have you, and thanks for the support when I had to find the right routing stuff. Thank you for sticking with me. And yeah, this is something that could change in the next time. But I will keep you updated about this. Thank you, Sabine Shrestha, for subscribing. Now I've finally seen the notification as well. And again, you can find the code at the top of the chat. And also, if you're interested in more React Native, go to galaxies.dev/React Native. I'm gonna put it here. Go check it out, because Galaxies will be focused more on React Native over the next time. There will be some epic courses pretty soon. There will also be, I think, a Firebase course, and there will gonna be a lot of basic courses. So if you want to get into React Native, you can already sign up for free, of course, at Galaxies, as you could always. But in the near future, there are gonna be more courses. So enough said. Check out the code. Thanks for joining. Maybe new podcast in the future. Next video coming on Sunday about something. Yeah, something interesting. You're gonna like that one, I hope. And thanks for sticking with me. And I will catch you in our next live stream. So until then, as always, happy coding.